Welcome in, everybody. Season 3 of Horse Talk, episode 1 with Mr. Moose with the Moose Crossing coming on in, man. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, dude.
I forgot how to
See,
talk. It's been like 3 months since we've done a Horse Talk.
right. I always forget how to talk, dude. So,
Well, look, before we get rolling, I do want to thank some sponsors tonight. Obviously, yourself was a sponsor of Horse Talk, so thank you very much. Creative Upside, Just Thrifting, and Spider 8X, all great sponsors. All have sponsored Horse Talk in the past as well. Thank you all so much. We appreciate it. You do get a good gift in the mail as well. It's always fun because I get to pick it out, kind of like a grab bag of sorts. So, how's your day going so far today? I know we both had a long day.
dude, same as yours, man. Long week, long day, but I'm energized. It's 11 p.m. on the East Coast here,
Oh,
but
wow.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm juicing, so I'm good.
Nice. What you got in the drink? Is that cranberry vodka?
So I did, and I actually have it here. I was drinking on this last night, a little cheer wine,
Okay.
and then so it's like a cherry soda, and then the old Sailor Jerry, and it
Sailor
just works,
Jerry.
man.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
familiar. Is that a whiskey? I don't drink
yeah.
a lot of whiskeys and stuff.
It's like a rum.
Okay.
So yeah,
Nice.
monkey nose. It's good, man.
Man, where do we go? We went on a vacation where it was nothing but Pepsi and rum. Was it Dominican? It was either the Dominican. Yeah, I think it was the Dominican. And like there were no other drinks. Like there was nothing else. There were,
Yeah.
if you were like, hey, I want a margarita, they're like, what is that? They had no idea what that was, which I thought was wild. Here comes a giveaway for the
All
Section
right.
Z.
Congrats.
Good luck. Big
Big
Buto. Nice.
Buto.
There you
Nice,
go.
dude.
Nice, man. Congrats.
Congrats.
Section Z on the NES for you coming on through. Well, look, man, thanks for joining, especially for guest number 1 on the new season, kicking it off. We've been going at this for a hot minute. Me and you haven't crossed paths a ton. Like we just kind of started chatting a little bit recently. Have you been on here for a long time? It seems like you've been on here a long time. Maybe took a little
Yep.
hiatus potentially. Tell us your story on whatnot.
Yep. So my story on whatnot, I think I'm 3.5 years now, believe it or not. But I never really streamed a ton just because of how I do things, right? If you've ever been to my streams, it's really just high quality, picky condition items. So the story goes, she's now my girlfriend, which half chat believes I don't have a girlfriend. That's fine, all good. They like to roast me on that. Before she was my girlfriend, I said, listen, I need your help. I want to do this whatnot thing. So she was here for my first ever stream. So without her, I might have not made the jump to do this. And I hopped in and I got blessed on my very first stream. I did well and I said, okay, let's keep going with it. And that's kind of my story. It's kind of like I'm on here not consistently, but not on purpose. It's just what I bring here is hard to replicate. So that's how I get into here, just doing it, you know, piece by piece, picking these pieces out for my crowd and making sure that these are the best possible items. And that's the only way I do it. So,
That's awesome, man. Yeah, the Genesis stuff I just got from you was really good, man. I appreciate it.
mhm.
I'm a big Genesis fan, so I didn't have, and I've talked about this on previous episodes, but like I didn't have a Super Nintendo. I went NES, Genesis, 64. I had a GameCube for like a week. I don't know what happened to this GameCube. I don't even know if we played Double Dash, I think like once. And that was it. But yeah, never had a Super Nintendo. The only games I ever played on
Mm.
Super Nintendo till I was adult was Street Fighter 2 at my buddy's house, and then Bomberman. I'm not sure which Bomberman it was. It's probably the first one for Super Nintendo, but and I loved Bomberman from that. So those are like core memories because you know how good it feels like when you go to your buddy's house when you're a kid and you're like, oh dude, you got that game, and like I didn't have a 16-bit console at that time, so to play that was like, wow, this is like
Yeah.
in the arcade, you know.
Yeah.
So you love
Believe
the
it or not,
Genesis?
I I started on Atari. That's what was affordable when I was a young kid. They were 99 cents. That's what my dad started me off on. So my journey started with Atari first and I loved it. I was a kid. I played ET. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I you couldn't do anything in ET. I remember that, but I really that's how I started. That was my first console.
Dude, I had an Atari as well, but I don't know which one I had. I remember we had Pong and we had Tank. Was
Mm,
Tank a game? Or was that called Tank? I don't know. I just remember something with a tank.
yeah, I think Dude, there were so many. You're right. There's so many versions of the Atari 7800, 20. I think I had a 2600,
Mhm.
5200. Um, but I vividly remember having fun with those games. And KB Toys marked them down for 99 cents, and that's why I got them.
Wow,
So, right. And
that's wild.
and the crazy part about that is my dad called me up one day and he's like, I got something for you. He had saved all the boxes. And if you know Atari boxes, they're beat up, but he saved all the boxes
Oh
and
wow.
he gave them to me. And I thought that was pretty cool, man. That meant a lot to me.
So you still collecting that stuff? You still got a lot of Atari things?
You know, Atari, I have that nostalgia, but in terms of collecting for it, it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
And that brings me into like the next console I got was Genesis. And that's kind of how my whole journey just
So you skipped
took
NES?
off.
You didn't have the NES?
No, I did not have the NES, but
Wow. All right.
a
That's
lot
rare.
of people did, and I was jealous because obviously I played Super Mario 1 and Excite Bike, and then Super Mario 3 came out, and that just like changed everyone's like perception of, in my opinion. It was such a good game, and it was in the movie The Wizard, and I remember watching The
Yeah.
Wizard with Fred Savage, and it made me want it even more. Then all of a sudden I got a Genesis and I never turned back, man. That's my console
What
to
was the
this
first
day.
what was the first game on Genesis you had?
I'm guessing we probably had Sonic 1. We probably had the
Okay.
pack in. And we loved it, man. It was me and my sister. My sister gamed a little bit. I think I eventually took over and probably just pushed her out of the way. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I love this system. And I really do. And I know I talk it up. Yeah, I'm a little mean. She's probably meaner than me, but because I'm the younger brother. But man, I really, really love the Genesis. I really do, for sure.
I do too, man. It's so I grabbed the games I had when I was a kid, which wasn't that many. I might have had 7 or 8 Genesis games. I played it for a long time though, like years. We just never bought new games. We were always in a rental type household. Like we just go rent game at the store or the gas station. So always the gas. Everything in Louisiana is gas station. So you buy all your
Yeah.
food, you eat in the gas station, you rent your games in the gas station, and everything's in the gas station. So. But I didn't get the Genesis till later, so I had the
Wow.
Sonic 2 pack in was mine, and I just remember going to Toys R Us and my mom and dad never really bought me a ton of console stuff, but my godmother, I guess is what you call it, she would always buy me stuff like that. And we went to Toys R Us and they had the Super Nintendo and they had the Genesis. And my mom's like, well, which one do you like or whatever? I was like, well, this one seems like it's cooler, which I know a lot of people wouldn't agree with that. But as a kid, I guess I was like, I don't know, 10, 12. I don't know. It just seemed wilder to have a Genesis.
And to your point, and I don't know if I just got lucky, everyone I knew had the Genesis. Like my friends had the
Yeah.
Genesis, and like I don't know how it turned out that way. I'm sure people had both too. I wasn't lucky to get both 16-bit systems, but all my friends had the Genesis, and that's what we gravitated to. And then my journey really began. Like I saved all my childhood stuff. I got lucky. I still have it. um there was a video game store in my town before I bought my house in my town. I had no idea it was there. I found out it was there, I think in 2014. I went to the game store. They had Micro Machines, which was one of my favorite Genesis games of all time. And believe it or not, I bought it loose, me out of anyone who buys nothing loose. And that's how my journey started. I bought a Retron 5 and Micro Machines for the Genesis. I'm like, I just want to play the game. And then from
Yeah.
there on out, I changed a lot of
Yeah.
things, but that's how it started.
So I just bought Micro Machines on Genesis from you
Hmm.
recently. So Neto brought it over here and we loaded it on the Poly Mega, and I was like, I want that. And he's like, well,
Mm.
you'll find. He's like, well, of course, it's not like, hey, you can buy this one. He's like, well, you'll find one. So, but yeah, I played it. I actually played it last week. It's pretty cool, man. Those games give me a little bit of anxiety though, like the RC Pro-Ams and stuff, the things you can't see, like what's right in front of you type stuff. So,
Right, right.
um, they're fun for me. It's like a 5-10 minute play, and then like go to something else because my nerves are starting to get bad from knowing where I'm going to crash or not crash or whatever. So,
It's a hard game. I beat it as a kid. I can beat it now. And believe it or not, there were three more Micro Machines games made.
mm,
They all came out overseas, and I have them all, and they're all just as fun. It's just a lot of memorizing. It's a lot of anxiety. It's just such a
Yeah.
cool game to me. That one is ultimate nostalgia and always will be.
Is it more of the same, or did they like redo like how it looks and everything? Did they skin it or change it?
It's it's more of the same. Um, so it's different tracks, little different type of environments, same idea. Not much has changed, but it's different enough where you could play all four and be like, okay, these are cool. So
That's pretty awesome. Neto, you got to get those so we can play those lately. So are you still playing the Genesis today, or you moved into the modern, or do you not play at all? Like I actually heard somebody today, I think it was on JNS, and he's like, "Man, I don't play games at all anymore." And I just kind of felt bad for him because he's just surrounded by them, you know.
right.
But not taking any time out for it. So like I'm still trying to play. I've been playing Halo on multiplayer lately, getting absolutely torn up. So but it's fun. It's kind of bringing me back to like OG Xbox and all that. But are you playing anything nowadays?
So when I had streamed a while back, I forgot which. I think it was a Genesis stream, and I actually hopped on stream and played on the arcade. And I played a game called Comic Zone, which I'm sure a lot of people know, the hardcore Genesis people. And I hadn't played it in a very, very long time. And I think I got through like 52% of it, which is awesome because it's a hard game to get through. So then I switched and played Skitchin, which I could
No.
talk about that game forever.
Yeah.
And I beat that. I beat that at like 2 a.m. I think there was 10 people in here. It was really, really fun. And that's the last time I really sat down and played like Genesis, but not on original hardware. And I'll be honest with this group, so most people know me, some don't. I don't play my games. And I know that's a sore subject for some. If you understand how I collect, I don't want to touch them. They sit there and they look nice, and I check in on them. I'll check on a manual here and there and see
Yeah.
what's going on or a cart, but I don't play my stuff. Now, when I started out, I had a duffel bag with the Retron 5, and I started out pretty hard in 2014, 15. I had Ghoul Patrol. I had all these expensive games in a duffel bag, and I walked around with those duffel bag, and they were clanging around in there, getting beat up a little bit, and we would play the games on the Retron 5. That's how it started. And then I slowly transitioned into I don't want to touch these. And that's just how I collect. I don't
Yeah.
play them. And unfortunately, I'm not saying you shouldn't play them. I think it's very cool playing original carts and stuff, but the wear and tear, etc., and all
Yeah.
that. So that's how it started for me. Now they get put on the shelf, and I'll test as much as I can, and that's kind of it with me in terms of that. In terms of gaming nowadays, if I meet up with people, we love to game a little bit. I sit on that PC over there and I play a very old, boring game called Heroes of the Storm. And I hop on there. It's called a MOBA. And I hop on and play a match, and I usually hop off. I don't play too much. Dead by Daylight too. I will say I play that on the PC.
Yeah.
That's about it. It keeps me going. That's about it
Yeah.
right now.
That's what I usually do in the stream. I'll play for like 15, 20 minutes just to do something that's for yourself, which is cool. I've got a few games that like I don't like to take them out either, or put them in, consoles or whatever. Not that far along, I guess. So maybe 10% of the stuff I don't like to mess with. So like today, I had to take my X3 out to put I finally got the reg card for it,
Oh
and
wow.
I was like, well, I don't really want to open this thing, but I guess I got to because I got to put my reg card in there. So it's not the nicest. My X2 is awesome, but my X3 it's okay. It's just hard to find that thing, and it's definitely hard to find one clean. Mine's okay. Um, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I was talking to a guy on the bay today. I was curious what you would think about this. So I've been looking for the Mega Man 9, the press kit.
Yep.
I've got the 10 sealed. I've had it for quite a while. I actually had two of them. We sold one to Divine, and I kept the other one. But it had like a hole in the front, like
Mm,
a hole. So I messaged him, and I couldn't really tell. It kind of looked like a hole, but you know how pictures are. And it was only one picture too, which also throws me for a loop every time there's just one picture of anything.
yes.
So I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, dude, is that a hole, or like is that just something that can be cleaned off?" And
Yeah.
the reply was a little wild. It was kind of like all of these had stickers on them, so every one of them has a hole in it.
Mm,
I've only got one that doesn't have a hole. and you should buy it right now because I'm going to up the price by $600
Oh
next week.
man.
And I'm just like, here's the thing. You still want $950 for it, which, maybe that's appropriate for one with a hole. I don't know. However, it's still $950 and it's a hole in a sealed game. So
Yep.
I don't know. When I see like sealed games that have like significant like seal breaks, like I don't think of that like a sealed game anymore. That's somewhere in the middle.
Agreed.
But yeah, it was the sales tactics were really interesting on that, and then schooling me on Capcom was involved in this one, but not in that one. I'm like, I didn't ask any of that. I just asked if there was a hole in the box, uh, in the
Right.
seal. So there's some wild things, man. So I heard people talking about the shipping stuff on here recently. I heard people talking about the Bay and how they won't evolve and this, that, and the other. Are you selling on multiple platforms or just on whatnot? What do you do?
Yep. So I am on the Bay, and I will say, I think it's important to have, a couple platforms, and that's really where I'm at. I've done some off site selling before too, like private sellings too, some really big ones with people I trust. But in terms of like eBay, I will say where Whatnot just completely trumps them is Whatnot as a seller, they basically have both buyer and sellers back pretty much. They will really take care of their sellers, and they'll take care of their buyers too. Now, when you go over to the eBay aspect, when you're a seller on eBay, they can get you for anything, and your hands are tied, and either you have to return, refund, pivot, try to fight it. And that part about eBay is very tough, and it's a turnoff for a lot of people, and it's not great in terms of that. But the worldwide audience you get on eBay, if you have an item that's very unique and that people on this platform just might not know about, you plop it over on eBay and you're reaching all over the world. And that's what eBay, is really good for. But now, if someone wants to get a discount on eBay because they think something's wrong with that item, they're going to get their discount. And I don't like that. And also, we're here back in the day on Whatnot. It was strict. I did the class. There was like an online class. I don't know if you did that. I know you were on here a little
I had
later
to
than
do
me.
like an orientation call. It was like 45 minutes or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was that. And now there's so many sellers on here that I'm not going to say it's watered down because everyone brings a unique style here. It's not as tight in terms of who can sell, and you get a lot of people that just don't care. And you have some bad experience we all have in terms of buying from any platform. People just don't care the way you do or I do or some of the other really good sellers. And they're like, "Here you go. It's gone." And they don't understand the journey that this package may have to take. It's a long journey. So,
Yeah, I've had a few issues. I know what you're talking about on the Bay as well. It's like I two stand out a lot. So I sold a Soul Silver big box with like 100% like mint, like everything. It was expensive. The guy had it for like 3.5 weeks and then claimed defective. And I'm like, so
mm,
his defective reason was it smelled like smoke and it didn't work. And like, there's nothing you can do. If you put in defective, like you have no choice. So I
yep,
took it back and I'm like, this sucks because that's like $500 or whatever it was. I got to like go fork back. And my assumption was I'm going to get this thing back and it's going to be damaged. Like it's going to
yep,
be not in the same condition that I sent it, or he's going to swap the cart and then there's nothing I can do and I'm going to get screwed. Well, the weird thing is I get it back. I take it out. It has zero smoke smell to it, and the
mm,
cart's authentic, and it works. I put it in the console, it immediately works. So I send the dude pictures. Obviously, no reply.
right,
So I got that one got burned. Eventually, I ended up selling that one. I actually just emailed one of the big sellers, and they bought it from me. And then just got a sore taste on it. I was like, I ain't dealing with this again. Like, I'll just see if I can even break even. I'll just send it off because I don't want to deal with it.
yeah,
And then I had an NES, and this one was wild, man. Like the dude bought it, and it was a good working NES. Like first try, maybe second try. If you just didn't put the game in quite perfectly. And he's like, I can't get it to work. I was like, okay. Um, I always go to the point of like, hey, I'll FaceTime you. Let's walk through it. Like, I'll help you.
Sure.
Dude refused it. He's like, no. Well, he would never would acknowledge it. So he kept going on how it didn't work, didn't work, didn't work. And then I didn't hear from him 2 weeks. And then he messed me again. Hey, dude, it doesn't work. I'm like, hey, bro, I've asked you 6 times if I could FaceTime you. Show me that it doesn't work. I'll send you another one. You can just keep that one, but I need to see it for myself, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, he returns it defective. I get it in. I put the card in first try. Boom, on the screen. I'm like, how?
Weird.
Like, and that's the kind of things I do agree. I was like, man, it's nice selling on Whatnot to an extent because you do everything right. Like you clean the console, you test the console. In fact, I clean mine and I test them, and then I box them and I sell them, and then I test them again before I ship them. And I was like, there's no way this thing doesn't work, unless they like threw it off the back of the truck, which is always a possibility. But yeah, man, I've
Yep.
had a few. I've had a few of those, so it's a buyer's market on the bay, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's almost
It's
like you
a
got to hold the money and like don't spend the money for like 6 weeks, type situation on the bay. That's the only way to be like safe, as a seller. But yeah, there's that. I mean, I've heard Justin was talking about some stuff that changed on shipping, and like every adjustment on here now is charging you. And I was thinking about that. I was like, man, I got 900 items. I'm gonna have to go in there and change the weights on.
mm,
Add a few ounces to each one of them, because the reality is, if I do like an NES cart and I wrap it in bubble wrap and I put a couple pieces of paper in the box, that's usually like 10 ounces, like by
mhm,
itself. And I don't want to
mhm.
send. I'm not gonna send an NES card in a bubble mailer. As many as I get in a bubble mailer, I won't send one in a bubble mailer. But yeah, I'm a little confused by what we're gonna do. Honestly, when you're selling like a lot of different items, so we're gonna have to pay a lot more attention to the weights. And if you guys are selling out there, go pay attention to it. I'm gonna look at the ones that sold tonight, even the few items we had tonight. I'm gonna try to adjust them and see what it does. I used to just, there were some things that you could do that allowed you to ship everything for the most part. But it's
Uh-huh.
creating an interesting environment for a buyer on Whatnot. So if like max shipping for a buyer is like $7 or $8, that's great. But if a seller gets hit with $1 every time they're
Yep.
1 ounce over, what eventually happens to all the pricing on non-auction items?
Yep. And fun
So
and fun fact too, I've never ever shipped an item in a bubble mailer ever. And I've shipped, and I'm not saying there isn't a time and place for them. There is. I just don't have them, number one.
yeah,
I have a good amount of supplies to use, but I think I've sold well over 1,000 items between never ever ever used a bubble mailer. Fear, you're too fun.
you,
Yeah, never used a bubble mailer. That's funny,
you
Fear.
use a lean
Just a
cuisine
Lunchables
box.
box, right?
Yeah, dude,
Right.
I use bubble mailers every day, but I only ship one. I only ship one thing in bubble mailers, and it's Nintendo DS games, and if they're under $10. So
Yeah.
you can't really break a DS game very easily in a bubble mailer. So
No.
yeah, they're
Yeah, for
like
a
this
DS
big.
game. Right.
So well, that's not true. I do ship Switch games, like loose Switch games. I put them in a little envelope. Not a little envelope, a little Ziploc type bag, and then I put a sticker in it, and then I put that in a bubble mailer. But it's man, the whole switch from like no priority to all ground. I was thinking about that. And I was like, man, that's going to cost me like $50 a week in boxes,
Oh man.
potentially. So there's workarounds, but like
Right.
the priority saves your butt quite a bit. I mean, in fact, on my porch out here, there's literally like 6 feet tall of priority boxes, three wide.
Oh
So I'm like, what
man.
am I going to do with all this? Am I going to burn all of this? So
Yeah.
no wonder the post office is going out of business. It's like, well, I had all those ready to ship because we go through about a pack and a half a week,
Yeah.
in the medium. So it's kind of wild. I can see some things are going to start changing to be a little bit more like the other platform. It'd be nice if the other platform changed a little bit to be a little bit more like this platform in some ways, but
Right.
yeah. So
I I can't believe the post office still allows people to take that much cardboard boxes out of there to do whatever they want. That's crazy to
yeah.
me.
Mine
You
won't do
know?
that. So mine only let you take like two or three, but they just tell us to order them or whatever. Now I will say this: my mail lady brings it, and she sees how many leave every day. So like she's never questioned anything because she sees how many that I ship. So
Yeah.
although we've slowed down a little bit, summertime is just kind of miserable on here.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of miserable, how was your show yesterday with all the million other sellers on trying to get the no fees?
Yeah, so I will say I just hopped on just because I wanted to just kind of chill. It that's not my style, obviously. I usually run everything at $1. Everything went okay. The only thing that was surprising, and I ran it, and it's my fault, was just the Tyson cart. There
That's
was
mine.
enough. There was enough people in there where
Yep.
I thought it would at least go for, I was okay for whatever it went for, but I'm like, damn, that's like a $45 cart. It was nice, but honestly, it was okay. My people come in and they get it, and I was able to run things. I pieced out that Tyson, like I completely deconstructed it because it wasn't the right thing,
Right.
and Uncle Boat was able to get a manual in a nice box. Vikes battled Wed for the letter, which you never see loose, and then you got the cart, and you know what? It ended up being okay. And then I sold like something else, but I wasn't expecting to do much. It's not a day I normally even go on to run, right? But
Yep.
I'm not crazy enough to put a big show and production together and do dollar starts and just have everything go half off because that's what the day is pretty much, or even less than that.
Yeah, I'll do a binge show on a day like that. Although I had one scheduled yesterday, but man, like every person I knew that sells sold yesterday, and I'm like,
Mm,
ain't nobody got no more money. I was like, I'm just gonna cancel it. I was like, we're gonna be on tomorrow night anyway.
mm-hmm.
But I told myself after the last free show because I did like an auction on one of them. I got absolutely smoked. Like it was not good.
Yeah.
100 something dollars in loss or whatever in one show. And I'm like, it's really sucky is like you lose $100 and you got to go pack all the shit.
Yep.
So,
It's not a
but
good feeling.
yeah, so I mean, we've had the big debate between man, fancy graphics going on the screen and
Yeah.
stuff now,
These guys
UFOs and
are
shit.
holy
Uh,
crap. They got a little.
Average dude, just grab something. Thanks, dude. We'll have average dude on Horse Talk this year. We got a whole lineup in the shows if you guys want to check them out. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying these shows. So, look, man, we haven't talked hardly at all ever in person. So, like, what is the moose thing? Like, why are you? So, I'm a horse. So, why are you a moose?
Yep. So there was a baseball player on the Yankees, and his name was Mike Musina, Mussina. My last name is Messina.
Hmm.
His nickname for the Yankees was the Moose, and that was it. And a lot of people call me Moose. Most people call me Moose, but some people don't, right? It stuck in high school and then not as much in college. And then later on after college, it was just Moose because my first name's Mike.
Yeah.
There's a ton of Mikes. People don't want to even bother with saying Mike because there's a million Yankees like, yeah, we're okay, Graham, we're okay.
My
But
wife loves
it's
the Yankees.
so that's how it stuck,
Yeah.
and it's Moose everything. I just it's my life. It's my name. When I introduce people, I'm like I'm Moose. That's it. Like let's not
Oh,
even,
okay.
you know what I mean. So that's kind of how it started. Just he was the pitcher for the Yankees, and his name was Moose, and my last name is so close to his. That was it. So
That's awesome, man. I know they had the football player for the Cowboys. They also called. Didn't they call him Moose as well? Uh,
yes,
what's the guy's
Cowboys
name?
guy, right?
Yeah,
Tony,
I can't
Tony
think of.
somebody.
He played forever. Like that dude
Yeah.
played literally forever. Where are you? Where are you at? Like I don't know where you're at. Like are you on the
Yep.
West Coast? You up north? Where are you at?
I'm on the East Coast, and
Okay.
I'm in upstate New York in Syracuse,
Okay.
right? So I'm in a suburb of Syracuse, and believe it or not, we kind of have some video game stores around us in Syracuse. I think there's at least four solid ones, five, and just tucked in Syracuse, New York, which is kind of cool. It's just I've been here my whole life. I told my parents the other day, I'm like, I might move away, and they both like in their early, they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, seriously, like I might. They're like, you got to stay here. I'm like, so I'm stuck here. You know what I
Right.
mean? It is a good where I'm nestled in. It is a good place. I got lucky, and we all know how expensive it is just to live anywhere. I'm just tucked in this little suburb, and
Yeah.
it's a nice area to be in. I got lucky for sure.
Where would you go if you moved?
I always said, and I've been there enough where I can say, yeah, JT's been here, which is cool. I'm looking forward to seeing JT. He's been to my house and he's been to the area. North Carolina is where a lot of upstate New Yorkers went because it was kind of like that sweet spot. and I like North Carolina, and I'm like, man, it would be nice. I'm not. A lot of people here like the winter. I don't like the winter. I don't like the snow. One day, but I say that, and if I ever moved, I don't know. Hawaii,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sieg knows. Some of the guys here are local or lived here that are lurking in chat, and they know. It is a nice place to live for sure. We don't like the cold.
Looks like Neto wants to know why your AES collection is dropping in value.
He said that to me or potato because I have
Uh,
no AES. I think he probably said it
oh,
to
do you?
potato.
Yeah, I got the new one coming in November or whatever. I got it pre-ordered, or my wife pre-ordered it for me, so I'm excited. I've actually never played an
Wow,
AES game, so oh, tater
I
salad,
want one.
got it.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
70 degrees. Well, you'd have died today. I was working
Oh
in the woods
man.
today, getting our deer camp stuff ready. We always got to do two full days, usually one day of just like bush hogging all the shrubs down and all that
Oof.
stuff, and then another day of tilling it all up and planting. But it it was brutal. I mean, I freaking brutal. I think it was like 104 was our feels like temp.
Wow.
And then I was just getting fried because I was on the tractor for like 4 hours straight, and the heat that comes off the engine of that diesel tractor after like an hour, it just like fries your face, you know.
Yeah.
So after four of that, it was like noon. I'm like, there ain't no way I'm making horse talk today. Ain't no way. So, but I got home and I passed out for like 20 minutes, and I was good enough. I wouldn't say good, but good enough. So
It's been in the 90s here in New York. It's hot. It's hot here. It's been a hot summer. It's hard to do much in that weather, for sure. I mean, my boy Avenger who's buying stuff out of your bin right now. I've been working with him and we've been doing construction outside. That'll knock you on your ass, man. Like I'm
yeah,
tan, but oh my god, like you sweat when you hit a hammer or a nail or you do anything in that weather. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy.
yeah. We were trying to assemble a deer stand, and I brought it out there like 3 months ago and just stacked it, laying down, and I don't know why, but I made the walls like 8 feet tall on each side, and then we had to put it up on a platform. And it rained multiple times, so every wall weighed like
Oh
350
man.
pounds. So we were there lifting this after like 5 hours on the tractor, and I'm like, we got three walls up, and I was just like, "F it, I don't care what happens, let's just go." So we'll go back in a week or two, hopefully, and fix. I just couldn't, dude. I couldn't do it anymore. Like it was so hot. We were doing like 3 minutes in the heat and then 10 minutes out of the heat and then 3 minutes in the heat and then 10 minutes out. I had brought my truck like right next to it, and I was blasting the AC in there because I'm like, well, it's 104 and I've already been in the woods for 5 hours at this point, and I'm lifting 300-pound walls and I just want to die. So, yeah, we do this every year, and I'm like, it never gets better. I need to bring some teenagers out there,
Yeah,
to
man.
help.
Yeah.
So it's like
Do
we're
you
all older. So,
do you have an extra giveaway you can pin up? I want to give back even more because we are on episode one, season three. I got something
yep.
cool, something nest related, and we'll figure out how to. I could either ship it to you, right, or we'll figure it out. You can send me the label,
We can
whatever.
ship it
But
direct. We can ship it directly from you, and I'll just send a sticker or something from here.
yep, yeah. Let's
If that's
give
cool with
let's give
everybody.
away something big. I know you do a lot of nests. I don't do a lot of nests, but I do have. I've got some big nests. You guys have kind of seen it when we've done later after hour stuff, but I want to give something to the nest heads here. I want to give back to anyone who's just hung out here. I appreciate you guys hanging. I appreciate Horse having me here for episode one of season three. So I think, and you guys can tell me more about how much this really goes for, but I think we should give this away.
What is that?
I
I
don't know
can't
how
see.
much this is worth.
Oh shit! Is that Three Kingdoms?
Yeah, I think it's what, at least 50, $60.
That's
Maps
bad.
there,
That's awesome.
manuals there,
Hell yeah!
good box. I want to give this away to the crowd here. Thank you guys. Anytime I have a chance to give back, I'm booting everyone. Yeah, I think this is a big one. This one's nice, guys. This will be worth hopping in. So I want
All
to give
right,
this
there we
to the
go.
chat.
So look,
Yeah, you guys
just
deserve it.
just so we have this on camera, and I'll say it before it ends. You're just gonna get a sticker from me because I can't ship that. So Moose is gonna ship that to you separately. Um, So we'll still send you something. I mean, tell you what, I'll still send you something. I'll send you a game, but then you'll get that as a lanyard. So jump in there. Thanks for that, dude. You didn't have to do that, but that's pretty awesome. Um,
You got it, man.
that's legit. Tell me about that arcade back there. So is that like a like what is that? Is that like a TV and then like you put a kid in there or like how's it? It's pretty awesome. I kind of want one.
Yep. Can you guys I don't know if you can see that back there, but
Yeah, I
if
can
you
see it.
can. Okay. So the arcade I got, and it was kind of a bucket list thing for me. I always wanted an arcade. This came out of New Jersey and COVID happened. So when I had ordered this in December, COVID had really hit in what, March? So they built it. The whole plan was to, and this was kind of my whole plan of how I get back to I didn't want to touch my games anymore, right? I'm like, let me get something like
Yeah.
this. We'll custom do it. I can play most everything retro on here. I won't have to touch my games. So I got it built. They had to drive it from New Jersey to here. This thing was very expensive, but it plays everything that I needed to play. And then COVID hit and no one could come over and play.
Ah,
So, but what's nice is it's such a big part of my stream. Just having even this in the background for me is comforting for me and even my audience if they just want to stare back there and look. It's just such a big part. And if I had to go back on it, would I get it? I don't know. For the price tag, it was a lot, mainly because they had to deliver it, and that was
yeah.
$600 to $800 to deliver it.
Wow.
It's cool when people come over, people play on it. I don't play on it a ton, but like I said, it's my without this, I can't stream. All my games are back there. My whole setup runs off of this. So in terms of that, it kind of worked out for me, and that's kind of the story with that.
What does it run on? Is it a PC?
Yep, there's a PC in there, and then like this thing actually lifts up, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see that or not because the
Yeah, we can see
text is
it.
blocking it. And then there's just all the circuit boards and stuff in here, and the PCs in there. Now, the one problem with this is what really stinks about this is to upgrade to the next level because it's always changing to play like N64, and it was kind of advertised like you could play right out of the get-go, but you need the next level and more terabytes, and it's like $800 more to upgrade. And it's
Ah,
like, how much more do I want to put into it? So that part's a little bit of a bummer, but that's nothing crazy. But the build and like all this stuff here, you can't see it a ton. I picked all this out. Like that's my dog up there, obviously, and then like this whole side's Mortal Kombat, all the Mortal Kombat characters from Ultimate, and I've got Sega, Super Nintendo. So I got to pick all those graphics out and kind of make it my own. So it's a really cool piece. Would I buy it again? Probably not. But that being said, I'm glad it's here. Now, do I want it downstairs one day? Because it's stuck up here in my living room?
yeah.
Yes. But
Yeah.
that's how I'll get it down there. I don't know.
So I don't have anything as cool as that. I bought one of these little arcade one up tabletops, and then I modded it. So I have everything on it, all the retro stuff anyway. I think it plays through PS1, and I was like, man, we're gonna use this a lot. We don't ever use it, like
Yeah.
ever, like
Yeah.
ever ever.
Right.
It's a little hard to see. I think the screen. So I was looking for upgrade kits of like, can I put like a bigger screen on it? And they can, but it's only like an inch or two bigger. Which I mean, I know for like Netto that would be extreme, but like the TV in itself is only like 13, 14 inches or whatever. So, um, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I still have hopes for it, but I kind of think I want to stand up one more. But then again, I don't know. I just like playing here on the PC. So I'm trying to get into PC gaming. I'm giving it
Yeah.
a good shot. We bought a
Hmm.
nice computer to do the streaming and stuff in here. We kind of needed it, but I've had so many internet issues throughout the years. I'm still just debating getting Starlink and trying to end this thing. But um, yeah, dude, it's a mess. So you don't have any AES. I got that new AES coming out. I've never played anything on it, but I've seen some of the games and they look pretty cool. So I'm hoping this thing is going to be a fun piece.
I'm curious about that piece, and that would probably be the only way I could get into it. Good luck on the Gibby,
Yeah,
guys.
here we go. Here we go. Graham B.
Graham.
Nice. Very
I'm thinking
nice.
about him, Tatum. GG's, dude. Congrats. That's a
Awesome,
big one,
Graham.
man.
Thanks,
That's a big
dude.
one. Congrats.
That's awesome. Graham, we're gonna send you a Horse Talk T-shirt as well. So send me your size, and then you get a T-shirt from me, and then that game will come from Mr. Moose
Got it,
on a
man.
different package.
Love it.
If that's
Yeah,
cool.
that so to go back to the AES, I love the whole idea behind it. It's just nothing. This area here, I don't even think experienced AES. I just never seen it, so I never got exposed to it. But I think the way you're going with getting that kit is a good way to get into it for
Yeah.
sure.
And the one that I got, I think is like there's like a black one, there's a white one. I think the one I got, it's got Metal Slug with it. And I finally played some Metal Slug on, I think it was Metal Slug X from Neto's Burn CDs the other day. It's pretty cool, man. I kind of liked it. I just got bad attention span on some of these games nowadays, though. It's like I can
Yeah.
play for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then it's like, oh, I got to do something else. Unless it's certain games. Then there's certain games that I can't play for less than 2 hours. But there's something about that Halo multiplayer, man. It's freaking fun. Like, and I don't love getting destroyed, but it feels really good when you know have a positive KD after getting destroyed 50 times in a row. So, um, yeah, I used to
Are
play a
you
lot
playing
of
that?
Halo. So,
Are you are you playing that on the PC? The Halo?
yeah, it's a Halo Infinite. I think it came out a few years ago. But the multiplayer is free, so that's kind of cool. I did download the campaign, which has been pretty cool too. Um, but
I
yeah,
loved
it's
Halo.
it's fun.
I loved Halo on the three. I played a lot of Halo 2 and 3 on the 360. 360 has a big place in my heart in terms of gaming. That's kind of how I got back into just console gaming because I went from the PS2. I was really quiet with that. Then I went over to the PC, and then I got that 360. And the 360, to me, in terms of online capability and playing with friends, just blew it out of the water. I played a lot of 360, a
I
lot.
did too, man. We played a lot of Rock Band. We played a lot of Rock
Yeah.
Band. We had all the shit. We had the fog machine. We had the strobe light. The guitar I have for Rock Band's actually right here. It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the first thing you're going to say is it's a Guitar Hero guitar. It is, but we only played it on Rock Band. But it's an
Oh, that's
actual like,
badass.
it's actually like an actual like wood stock Guitar Hero. It's a lot. Logitech made these, but I had this exact one when I was in college, and then it's funny. I sold it when I was in this house just like 4 or 5 years ago on eBay because they were going for a lot of money. And then I found a good deal on one. This one wasn't working. I took it apart and I fixed it. So it's
That's
pretty
really
cool.
cool, man.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's
So,
really cool.
but it's heavy like a real guitar, which is kind of cool. But I did find the fog machine and the strobe lights recently. So I have them. They're in here somewhere, but I haven't tried them
Yeah.
yet.
And
So
believe it or not, Neto always says you couldn't handle Louisiana. Obviously, I haven't been there during the summertime, but I did go to Louisiana. I went down to Mardi Gras when the Saints won the Super Bowl,
oh sweet,
and
yeah.
we drove from New York, which was like so dumb. But I had a lot of fun in New Orleans. I really the drive. So the drive down was like we're gonna do it. We were in my buddy's Cavalier. This was in 2010, maybe whenever the Saints won the Super Bowl. So we partied. I was on bourbon. We drank. We did the whole Mardi Gras. It was an experience. I'm glad I did it. On the ride back, it had snowed in I think 49 out of 50 of the states. And obviously, you guys probably don't know much about snow, but the ride back, it was like a destruction derby through Louisiana, Mississippi, all the way up. And it took us more than a day to get home. It was brutal. I'll never
That's
do
crazy.
that again.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it was
not. I'm
wild.
not huge. I'm not a huge New Orleans guy. I've spent plenty of time over there, but um, it's like once you've done it, you've done it. You know, people that live there would hate that comment, but I mean, it stinks. Let's just say that. You know, so um, Baton Rouge is a little bit more my speed. However, you're just lucky to not get shot over here, so it's pretty rough, man. So it doesn't look rough on the outsides, but it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
So I remember they always used to have like billboards on the interstate. They're like Baton Rouge murder rate higher than Chicago. I'm like, wow, thanks. Uh, like you already didn't feel safe, and then you got to drive by this every day. So it's definitely one of those cities like you don't go in certain places for sure.
Yeah.
So
That's
uh,
that's a shame. That I mean, I I loved it down there, but I was young enough where I just wanted to party. So it was like there was actually a guy down there. So his name was Chef Paul Perdome,
Oh yeah,
and he had a restaurant down in New Orleans. It was closed, but I grew up using his spices. I'm like, I just want to go to Chef Paul Perdome's
yeah, man.
restaurant, but he was closed because of Mardi Gras, and it was cool, but it's a shame. Like, so you could see, and obviously you guys live there, you and Neto, but it was crazy to see the water line. You could see how high it had got
Mhm.
on those buildings, and man, that was just unbelievably crazy to me. It was
Yeah,
so freaking high.
New
Like
Orleans is all below sea level pretty significantly. I think it's like 12 feet or something like that below. So if the levees and the pumps don't work, you're just in trouble. Paul Prudhomme, man. I used to watch Paul Prudhomme growing up. He only cooked sitting down.
it is.
So he was a
He's a big
big
guy.
dude. Yeah, he was like 450 pounds.
Yeah,
I still use his some of his seasonings. I use Seafood Magic. So if you guys are ever
so
trying to
good,
find some Paul
so
Prudence,
good.
Seafood Magic's really good on like grilled redfish and barbecue shrimp and things like that. But yeah, it's good. It's good stuff, man. I used to
I
watch him
have
actually cook on TV though as a kid. It was on like the local show. Like he would cook like a dish on like every news channel and stuff.
I
It was
have his
pretty wild.
spices in my cabinet right now. I think I got meat magic and vegetable magic. I grew up with his stuff. I still use. I love his stuff. It's great, great seasoning.
You got to try my favorite seasoning. It's just a basic Cajun seasoning, but it's called Slap Your Mama. That's
We
the
have it. We
okay.
have it
That's
up
the one I
here.
use the most. That's right down the road from us here, but Slap Your Mama is pretty good.
I gotta try it because we do have it here, and it sells like crazy
Yeah, that's
in
from
New
Ville
York.
Platte. That's not too far from here. That's awesome that you guys have it up north. I wouldn't have thought you had it up north, to be honest.
We
I know
we
Tony's is
just
up there, but Tony's is too
Tony's is up
salt.
there. Yeah.
Tony's is too salty. Slap Your Mama's a little bit more like spice and flavor forward. I know this has nothing to do with whatnot or gaming or collecting, but like I do like some Slap Your Mama. It's pretty good stuff.
These guys are crazy in chat.
Yeah, I'm
Trust me,
watching all
I'm
this. I
reading
can't keep
chat.
up. I can't
I'm
keep
reading
up.
chat, but I'm
It's
not
not
responding to
it's
you.
not good for your health to read that chat. Um Overall. So what's the goals for Mr. Moose this year? You gonna sell off some more stuff? You still buying to sell? Do you buy to sell or do you just have stuff in collection that you're just like, I don't need this anymore and sell it?
Well, yeah. So I'll say my journey in terms of the last at least year and a half. I have a lot of stuff, and I do come across a lot of stuff. So in terms of what comes in here, it's just as clean and nice as what I have. I don't touch what I have anymore. So if something comes in clean that I find, especially Genesis wise, it's coming back to you guys just as clean as something in my PC. I don't do much swapping. I have definitely sold more than I've added to the PC. And mainly because finding stuff for my PC at this point is so hard. It's I have a lot. I don't have everything by any means, and I can't keep everything. And I started off really, really slow this year. I don't think I started selling this year until April. And I'm like, I might not sell at all. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not feeling it. Then all of a sudden, I built a couple shows and it made sense. They did well. The items were beautiful. I'm like, I can't believe I have all this nice stuff in one spot to sell. And in terms of numbers, I haven't really ran many numbers, but I've got maybe two or three big more shows planned, and it's going to end up being a pretty decent year just in terms of what I brought to the table. Where I didn't start till April, so my goals are just consistently to keep finding more stuff. I've been able to network. I've been able to hit more stores. I've traveled, but I will say this: I've been around a lot of places. This stuff just doesn't exist in the wild. Sometimes it does, but you've really got to network. You're It's not always in game stores and it's not always in conventions. A couple of us went to too many games. It was a good convention. I will say, as some of you saw, I found that untouched altered beast that's still sealed. That to me is so rare. And I know Chief was there with me. I don't think people understand how rare it is because it's actually sealed, right? It's actually taped inside. And then I found a Mega Man 6 sealed sitting in the back of someone's booth with thousands of people on a Saturday. And I'm like, what is this? Is this sealed? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, how much? And he's like, this. And I'm like, is it legit? Because obviously, I'm not a complete expert. I know enough. And I brought it over to CGC, and they're like, yeah, it's legit. And the guy was just like, I have another one, and that was it. And he had some big stuff. No,
That's
I
awesome,
know.
man.
I know that, D Rob. It wasn't sealed. The box isn't sealed, but the console's taped and the accessories are taped inside, like factory taped. And so Chief was there with me, and I showed this off. It had the woman who originally had it won that from a Burger King contest, and the letters inside. I can show you the letters inside with her name on it. She won it from a contest. I don't know how old she was, and she never played it. And Dark found the commercial because Dark's my little investigator, dude. If I ever have a problem with someone, I got to call Dark because he'll
Yeah.
find it. He found the commercial, and it's so freaking cool. And if you don't travel and you don't network, you can't find pieces like that. But I will say, conventions can be a complete miss too. It depends how you collect or what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I went to so we had a small convention here. I guess it was last weekend or maybe the weekend before. I think it was last weekend. Yeah. And I went and then man, there wasn't a whole lot of game vendors, but there was one big game vendor. It was two big game vendors. And the first one, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy some stuff that I think is cool. I ain't trying to sell it. It just is what it is. I'm just gonna pick out some cool stuff. So I went in his he had some pretty big paper boxes. So he had like 300 N64 manuals. He had 500
Wow.
NES manuals. So I go through them and I'm like, well, I need like 10 of these to finish my boxes. So I'm grabbing them. Some of them are like 35, $50 a piece. And it was kind of cool. He had a couple bins that were like $3 bins. And I'm like looking through that. And then I found like 5 NES games that had terrible labels. But I mean, it was like Adventure Island, Dino Wars. They were like $1 or $2. I think one was $3. I'm like, I'm gonna grab all of these because
Yeah.
throw them on my Poly Mega and sell them off for the same price.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yellow Rose was there. I went and talked to him for a little bit. Um, so CIB wise, for what did I end up buying? I ended up getting a Turrican for Genesis, like in the the box that opens from the top.
Yeah. The blue box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I got that. I thought that was
Am
pretty
I?
cool.
Did they lose me on the bottom? You guys lost me.
No, I think you're still there. I still see you.
Oh, JT, are
they,
you okay?
they might be
JT, have you
messing.
been sipping?
They might be messing with you, bro. Uh,
Oh God,
so I got
you're always
that,
on the
and then
bottom.
I went
JT
over
can't see
to
me.
yeah, I went over to another booth, and I actually texted Matt when it happened. I was like, I'm looking through all these CIB games. They had a lot of NES stuff. They had like 100 different NES CIBs. I'm looking through, and I'm like, these are all in terrible shape, like all of them. Like every one of these things is like god awful. And then I found a bases loaded that was still in the cellophane that was actually
Oh man.
beautiful. And it had like $20 on it. I was like, yeah, I'll take that. It's about the same as the one I have, but I was like, this is clean. And then they
Yep.
had my gold medal challenge. Like it was like faded on one side of it. It's like a different color. It shouldn't even be that color. So all my purples are lined up, and this one gold medal is like a different freaking color. So I was like, I got to get a new gold medal. So they had it. They had it listed, I think, for like $75. And I'm like, wait, it's not in that great of condition. It's just better than mine, you know? But I was like, I think average is like 45. So I wasn't even gonna grab it. I was like, you know what? Let me just go ask the guy. Because I had a feeling all they do is price charting. And that's all they did. Which is
Yeah.
kind of funny because on here with collectors, it doesn't really matter if the thing is nice, you know, like if it's clean, they know. Like, hey, you're not gonna get this under whatever price, so I'm gonna bid what I gotta bid.
Yep.
But at conventions, it seems almost opposite. You know, it's like this is literally the price charting world. And if you can find a game with every piece of paperwork in cellophane, it's the same price as the shitty one next to it for
Yep.
market value. It's kind of odd to me. I'm not used to that world, but that's what I saw this weekend.
It's and it's a booth by booth type thing, right? You can go to one booth at a convention, and Mega Man 5 will be $250, and you can go to the next booth down there, and they'll have it for 150, and you're like, well, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Why are you've got to make sure you just are patient, right? And you just shop around as much as you can because you just don't know. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's hard to find this stuff, and a lot of these collectors in this room and people in this room like what we like. We like clean stuff, and we know how hard it is, and we know sometimes we have to pay up, and sometimes you get lucky like you did with cellophane and all those inserts. And to me, even if you're buying that a little more than you would have wanted to, that's a victory to me.
Yeah.
You know, instead of paying double the price because they know those extra inserts and stuff like that's in there.
It's kind of fun at least looking through the stuff and be like, oh, maybe I'll find a gem in the middle of this bunch of like very average shit. In fact, when I say average, that stuff was worse than like 85% of everything I see on Whatnot. And I'm not talking to like your high end sellers. I'm just talking about anybody. Like this stuff was rough, you know?
Yeah.
So, but what it reminded me of though was like these guys are truly finding that stuff in the what I would consider the wild Facebook marketplace, pawn shop, thrift store, like, and I rarely see games in the box at these things. I'm not talking about like new games. You see those games, disc based games and all that, but I don't think I've ever seen an NES game at a pawn shop in the box ever,
No.
or a thrift store ever. Um, but you can find them every now and then, on marketplace here and there, but not often. I mean, I actually got 3 N64 games last week on marketplace in the box, and I was shocked.
Wow.
I'm like, this never happens, like ever. So it was a couple good ones in there, but they had all the inserts and everything. I'm like, so I asked the guy, so he's a firefighter, and I went and met him at his firehouse. I was like, so you had these a long time? He's like, no, man, I bought a house and these were in the attic. I was like,
Wow.
oh, well, what else was in the attic? He's like, well, I got these Guitar Hero guitars, and he showed me they didn't have the dongles and stuff. I'm like, okay. I was like, well, you're gonna have a hard time selling those, but this is awesome, by the way. I was like, I like all this stuff, so I think I needed one of them for my N64 set, so the other two I'll list them or whatever. But it was fair, but it was a rare box find locally for me, which is super rare.
Yeah, I had recently linked up with this guy. He was actually selling down in our flea market. It was him and another guy. And I finally bit the bullet and messaged him. He's like, yeah, come over, come shop at my place. Now, he has two full rooms of games, and it's pretty overwhelming. It's pretty crazy. He's got a room full of PS1, Xbox, PS3, PS2, 360, bunch of sealed stuff in one room. The next room has N64, Genesis, Super Nintendo, Jaguar, Saturn. And what was cool about that experience for me was, obviously I was careful. He doesn't know me a ton, but this is my third time going. He allowed me to pick through old school, and I'm sitting there with my phone because it's hot up there. It's in the attic. It's dark. I have to have a light, and I got to pick through his stuff. Now he is expensive, and a lot of his stuff, is worth it, but it was that old school picking, man. You're just picking and looking through this stuff. I'm on the floor. He's checking prices. I'm grabbing stuff, putting it on the table for him. It's a cool experience. Like, I haven't had an experience like that, I don't think, ever, where I was allowed to pick out of someone's. And he's not a collector. He's just had this stuff forever, so it's hard for him to let go. It was a very fun experience. I got some really cool pieces. I posted them in the Discord. That was from him, and you just don't see that stuff. So I paid a little bit extra. I'm like, you don't see N64 and the cellophane, and I didn't get them for cheap, or sealed Saturn at other places.
Yeah.
So that's a cool little spot for me to go, and it's just a different experience. Like I say all the time, and a lot of people know in here, sellers, you network, and you just talk to everyone that you can respectfully. I never say, "Can I buy your collection? Can I buy this?" If
Right.
someone links up with me, let's talk. I'll be fair. Let me pick. Let me look, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean that is the truth. I mean, there's a lot of people that'll. I mean, what I got 50 or so N64 CIBs from a person 2/3 of a mile from my house that was in his house, and he had like all that stuff, and I'm like, I would have never guessed this ever, but I didn't find it. My buddy found it and sent it to me. He's like, I know you're doing the N64 set. Here you go. And it was awesome, So I was pretty stoked, but it's amazing what people, if you got people out there, kind of feelers for you. My buddy next door, he hits all the thrift stores for me like twice a week. He just sends me
That's
pictures.
nice.
This. He just likes to hunt too. and
Yo,
I always hook him up too. We kind of like share it a little bit. Um, but like he sent me some pictures today. It was like an old Tamagotchi, like vintage Tamagotchi, and he's like, "Hey, it's $40." He's like, "They're going for 150 on eBay." He's like, "You want it?" I'm
wow.
like, "No." I was like, "I know nothing of this, like nothing, like zero." So it's not an item that I would want today, you know. So, but I told him, I was like, "Hey, but if you buy it," I was like, "I'll sell it for you and give you all the money. Like, that's fine." So we'll be listing a Tamagotchi vintage apparently. Soon. But yeah, it's all kind of random shit. I mean, we get Salvation Army's been kind of good here for him lately. We got two PS4s for $10 a piece. They both worked flawlessly, which was shocking.
Right.
Um, which was good. And then what else did we get recently from there? We always get like disc stuff, but the discs are never in it. So like we got Liberty's was it Liberty City Stories or whatever GTA, but there's like it's got the poster and the manual and a good cover art, no disc. But
Yeah.
I was like, "How much did you get it for?" He's like, 25 cents. I'm like, "Perfect."
For that,
So
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
you can't beat it. You know, I don't even try to go find the disc. I just sell it for $8, and you know, it's great.
And I've
So
I've told these stories before too, just in terms of how deep you have to go into doing this. Like you said, thrift stores, video game stores, just networking with people, even on here, eBay, Macari, anywhere. We did a summer of estate sales because that's what my family did growing up, right? A bunch of my furniture in my game room that houses a lot of expensive games came from estate sales. I did a summer of estate sales and there was a lot of video games. And estate sales, and I've talked about this before on my channel, they are extremely stressful and it's a whole different avenue. And I had people that wanted to fight, that pushed, and I got lucky. Every estate sale I went to, I got something out of it. You're not guaranteed to. You have to get a number in a lot of these places. You have to go and get a number at first, and then you have to go back and wait in line. There's a lot of time, and I did it for one summer, and I brought some of it to Whatnot. I think it was my first year on Whatnot, and I brought some of those estate sale finds. And man, I mean, I had a good summer doing it, but it's a lot. It's very time consuming. And now, unfortunately, I think estate sales and anything else is kind of caught up. And they're like, well, we're going to list it at market price. Well, have you tested it? Does
yeah,
it work? Is it? And sometimes they don't, right? But I did that whole summer of estate sales. That was kind of my way of getting stuff. And man, I had stories, and I've told them before. Crazy people are crazy when you get shut out and you've waited in your car for 3 to 4 hours, and that was a one sale that happened. I knew these guys wanted what I wanted, and I told this story before. Big, huge house, and you had to know where to go in this house. 5, 6 bedrooms upstairs. I was behind them. We were walking in a line to get into the house. The doors opened. We had to go upstairs. They went one way, and I went into the right room, and it was game on. I grabbed stuff, and someone ahead of me, she grabbed an N64 and box and Nintendo for nothing. And then those guys who were in front of me, they caught up and they got nothing, and they were not happy. They were pushing, they were doing this and that, and it's a long day when you're sitting in your car all night and you get shut out. I never got shut out, knock on wood, but that's a whole nother way of
yeah.
finding stuff, and it's crazy. That's a whole nother world.
I've been to a few here, but I never saw anything like that. It was usually just old people's house, you know, like the last one I went to is literally walking distance from my house, and no game stuff. And then my buddy that does the thrift shopping actually showed up, and I didn't even know he was going to be there. And I was like, "Oh, hello, hello!" Like, funny to see you here.
Yeah.
The best thing they had was a push mower that I thought was priced pretty good. But it was interesting. You said like the market price. Everything was really expensive at the two that I went to in the last year. I'm talking like more than retail on a lot of that stuff. And I kind of wondered like, so if they don't sell this stuff, are they just going to donate it all to Goodwill? So they either take it for good money or just don't move it? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean the good unfortunately, like in terms of Goodwills, obviously, I think they even stream on here now, right? Like one
Oh,
of the
I don't
good.
know. Maybe.
I, I think they
I
just
know
take
Paymore does, which is not really like a Goodwill, but similar.
and Paymore seems to be. I'm just hearing about Paymore. I don't think we have them in New York. They seem to be getting a lot of games,
Yeah.
but
Oh, for sure.
Goodwill. they used to stream off like their website, right? Not stream, but sell off their website and do auctions. But now I think they're on here. So going to a Goodwill, you're not gonna find a Mario 64 CIB at a Goodwill anywhere. They're gonna ship it off to. They know what it is, right?
Yeah.
So it's a
Make
bummer,
yeah, making that money.
right?
Mine started putting games back on the shelf slightly. Which all I could guess was well, I guess it wasn't anything great either, but it's either not hitting a criteria to ship it off or the place that they ship it to is full and they're just like, hey, nothing for the next 2 weeks or whatever. I can only imagine the amount of processing they'd have to do just to get through that stuff, you know. You're talking there's like, I don't know, there's like 4 Goodwills within like an hour of here. You know, if you think about that everywhere, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah. And I've told this story before. So there's a thrifty shopper in the town over to me, and I have a really good buddy. We collect, we game together, we talk. He lives very close to it, and he walked in. And when he was walking in, he saw a guy walk up to the register, and I think this might have been 2 years ago. He had a snatcher for Sega CD, and maybe 5 other Sega CD games, and he beat him to it. And he
Yeah.
he said he got an okay look at him. He said, they probably had a lot of wear and tear, but he got a snatcher out of a thrifty store, and my buddy missed it by 2 minutes. And this guy walked out with snatcher and 5 other Sega CD games for, I'm
Wow.
sure they were priced cheap, 30 bucks, couldn't have been more than that. Crazy. That's just timing, right? And we haven't even talked about that, right? Timing, right? Timing on this app, timing on going to any game store, thrift store. A lot of it's timing and some of it's luck, right? You can't be everywhere in one spot. I got a
That's
Zombie Nation. Damn, Vine, that's
That's crazy.
crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do better at the pawn shops here than I do at the thrift stores and the Goodwills and all that. Um, but it's never like slam dunk stuff, you know. It's like, oh, I can do okay on that. Um, a lot of disc stuff, not a ton of
Yes.
retro stuff. What I've been finding mostly is like controllers and like we got a pair of Joy-Cons sealed. It was a sealed set of Joy-Cons. It was like pink and yellow. Well, apparently they're like $75 new, and these were still sealed. I got it for like $15 or whatever.
Yeah.
That was actually my neighbor picked it up for me. So it was like those types of things, but I'm not seeing a bunch of like great games or anything like that. In fact, I don't even know the disc stuff that well. Like I gotta literally just go like, okay, I don't know what that is. Let me look that one up, or just try to find stuff that I'm not familiar with. That's the only ones that seem to ever pay out, except for the freaking Hunter Call of the Wild or whatever. You know this game?
I
We
don't know if I
we
no, I
got it
don't know
for
if
a
I do.
dollar. We got a loose disc for a dollar. It's like a $70 disc. Um, Hunter Call
Wow.
of the Wild. Yeah, apparently it's an expensive game nowadays. It's dropped
I
a
have
little
it in
bit
my
since I
shop,
got
yeah.
it, but we got it for a buck. So yeah, it's But then there's like like you see that on the shelf and like you wouldn't even look at that, and I don't even know what made me look. I think it was just that I never saw it before. Like I knew it wasn't Cabela's Dangerous Hunts or whatever that shit is for the Wii. But I saw that and I was shocked. I'm like, sweet, now I'm looking out for that. And my pawn shop has it, but they asking like $80 for it. So I told him, I was like, hey, I'll be back in like 2 months when you don't sell that. Uh, I'll do it for like 30
I think
bucks,
so.
you know, which they probably
It,
paid $5. So it should be the whole circle of life, right?
it's funny because my mom and sister, they're like me, but they do clothes and shoes, and they find so many like rare clothes and shoes, and I don't know anything about that. But my mom, God bless her, this is our lifestyle. Our whole family does this, right? Just in different avenues. She'll call me and be like, I found this at the thrift store, and it'll be like Just Dance 1, 2, and 3, which did have some value for a while. I think it was only on the Wii. And she's like, do you need them? They're on the PS3. I'm like, Mom, they're only like $3. She's like, I can get it for 2. And I'm like, I appreciate it, but so she'll always be caught because they're always out and about, man, doing garage sales and stuff.
Yeah. I think the Wii's coming back around a little bit from what I can tell. It's just they put out so much stuff. Um, um, It was funny. We got some cool games in today, but I got like a little Mario Wiimote in, and I'm like,
That's
I think I
cool.
like this better than all the other cool stuff that I got, or whatever reason. Because I got a red Wii and like a crazy deal, like $35. I got a red Wii with Michael Jackson Experience and Wii Sports. And I was like, "There's no way this thing's gonna work." And sure as
Yeah.
turns out, it worked. And I didn't have the cables for it, so I went to that con, and then that dude's like $3 bin. He had a set of Wii cables, so I got the power and the AV for $3, and it works. And then now I got my Mario one. I was like, "This is pretty cool."
That's
So
cool.
I was having a hard time with testing GameCube stuff. So my GameCube's modded, and it worked forever. But my little one likes to stick his hands in all my consoles, like a lot. And
Yeah.
now it doesn't read disc, so he messed up something. But I was like, man, yeah, this sucks. I can't test my GameCube stuff. So I started looking for a Wii, and then that one showed up, and it's backwards compatible and all that. So it's a good console, man. I think Wii's kind
Yeah.
of like 360. Like people think like, oh, it's not cool or whatever. Like I get it, but people played the shit out of that console,
Well, yeah. I
especially
mean,
Wii Sports.
right. Wii bowling makes me happy. There's a frisbee game with the dog where you can throw the frisbee and the dog goes and gets it. We played the crap out of that not too long ago with my nephews, and then just a tennis game. That's why it's so cool. Like it's simple. Is there a lot of garbage on it? Yes. Is there so many games where going for a complete set would be silly for a lot of people? Sure, but they did a good job with the system. It's a cool system for sure.
Yeah, I got a Resident Evil game in recently. I've never had it before for the Wii. Trying to remember what it was. Umbrella Chronicles, I think. But it looked cool. I hadn't played it. I need to play it. It'd be kind of wild to play a horror game on a Wii
Yeah.
overall. So that's cool. So Moose, we're gonna wrap up here in a few minutes. For everybody that doesn't know you on here, which I'm sure most of them do, you want to tell everybody where they can find Mr. Moose Moose at?
Yep. So on terms of just on here is primarily where I am now. You can find me on another site, and that's about it. I stream, unfortunately, not a ton. So if you're new and you're just discovering me, I stream, I would say, about once a month now. And I wish it was a little bit more. So follow me just in case. I sell a lot of clean stuff. That's all I sell. There's no sacrifice in terms of what I bring here. And it'll be worth it. Sometimes I'm gone for a little while and it's a bummer, but consider just hanging with me. And I appreciate most of you who understand that, okay, I'm gone, but next time I show up, I'm going to have a ton of stuff. And you guys do show up and you support me. And this stuff's hard to find. And you guys love to troll me. And I love chatting with you guys. We do the after hours every time after we stream. I'm like, I'm done selling 2 hours. And the next thing you know, I'm 6 hours deep in trying to get your packages out the next day. And if you've ever seen me pack, I take care of it. There is no rushing. And I still get it out the next day. I want to make sure it's secure. We have a lot of fun. Thank you, Uncle Bo. Yeah, I love in terms of adding to my PC. If I can add a piece here and there out of what I get, it's a win for me. I'm really enjoying selling because the pieces that are coming in are crazy. It's a lot of fun. So if you haven't discovered me yet, chill with me, man. We have a lot of good times. It's a lot of fun. It really is.
So Moose, I was getting blown up, but and look, I don't know what this is, but I'm supposed to ask you what this image means before we wrap up.
Yeah. So that whole story, and I don't know if Kongrama is in here. There was a game, what was it? Raid and Trad for Sega Genesis. So it had two variants, right? It had that blue and aqua uh, cart and cover art, and then it had this red one, this crazy red cover art with a yellow sticker on it. Now, the cart, when I opened it up, had an orange sticker on it. And I'm like, well, this is like an old price tag. This is like
Yeah.
that. So I hit it with the heat and I knocked it out. I got rid of it. Now, fast forward to I went to sell it. And I think it was Starbase that shed light onto that. And he's like, dude, I think that's supposed to be on there. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, I took it off, right? It looked like a cheap sticker. So I took it off. It was gone. And by the time I went to sell it in the show, it was long gone. I had taken that off weeks before I did the show, and Kagrama ended up taking it down. and I don't even think he knew about it. And I'm like, I know me. I'm not good at throwing out small pieces of trash because that's what I thought it was. So all of a sudden, I'm looking by my trash can, and this is after I sold it and weeks after I took it off. There's the orange sticker on the floor, this small orange sticker. I'm like, I fucking found the sticker. So I'm like, Kagrama, like, you're going to like this. So I went, it was so late, right? Because we went really, really late that night. I don't know. I was taking pictures and sending the sticker to Frack and Starbase. I'm like, I found it. I found it. Next morning, couldn't find it again.
Oh.
So I'm looking everywhere. I'm like, you know what? I don't, and I won't. I know I swore once in here, but I'm not going to. I'm like, I don't care about the sticker. It's not meant to be. It's gone. Who cares? Congrama doesn't know about it. He bought it. It wasn't advertised. Then there it was sitting on one of my sealed games. So I put it in a penny sleeve for him, I think, like that you put a trading card in, and it was a nice surprise for him.
That's
So
awesome, man.
yeah, it was pretty wild.
I lose
And I
stuff
know a lot about
immediately
Sega.
too. Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
feel you. I lose things immediately. Literally happened to me yesterday. I'm looking everywhere. I needed this thing to get my trailer hitch thing on, and couldn't find it anywhere. Burning up in the sun. I'm getting frustrated. Start kicking stuff, and then I realized that I put it in my truck box so I wouldn't lose it. And I was like, oh, I did it to myself. So this kind of happens all the time. People buy stuff on my eBay, and I'll be like, where is it? And then I
Oh
won't
yeah.
find it, and I'll cancel it. And like a week later, it's just sitting right there on my desk. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit. So
That's a thing for sure on eBay. All of a sudden, someone buys something, you're like,
yeah.
"Oh no,
Well, Oreo
where?"
said, did I burn something else? So true story, but I very likely burned a CIB Legend of Zelda. Um,
Oh
yeah.
man.
So like I get all these boxes, right? And I just burn them. So I mean, I can't keep all these boxes. There's boxes everywhere. We're in the country. You burn shit. You don't throw anything out. You just burn it. So anyway, I threw all them boxes in the fire and lit it up. 3 days later goes by. I can't find the Zelda anywhere.
Oh no.
But I found the box that the Zelda came in the cabin. So all I know is I burned all the boxes. Then I found the Zelda box, that shipping box, the next day, and the Zelda's never been seen since. So I'm pretty confident that I burned a CIB Legend of Zelda in the fire pit. So yeah. And I don't think it's the only game I've burned, to be honest. So it's an
Yeah.
ongoing joke in our circle of, hey, don't burn any games today. So like I'm
Yeah.
like looking through every box before I throw it in there. But so I mean, sometimes there's like 30 boxes in this fire pit at one time. So yeah, it's so don't feel bad. It's good. But the sticker's cool that you kept it. You got to keep it forever. You should put it on eBay for like $1,000 and see if anybody bites.
Well, I gave it, even though it wasn't advertised in the listing, I gave it to Congrama just out of good faith.
Ah,
It
okay.
it just was meant to go with that. But before we end, and you may not know as much of what I used to do a lot of, I say we open up a sealed game. I have one here.
Oh
I'll
God.
make it sweet. I'll make it quick. It's a cool one. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It wouldn't be me unless I didn't do it. It's been a long time. This one will be fun because you may know it. A lot of people know it. I have a lot of nostalgia with it. It's okay, Oriole. It's what we do. And you know what? I'm going to take a big sip of Sailor Jerry. I'm going to open it and I won't drag it on. I'm going to let you do your closing. Thank you so much for having me kick off episode 1 of season 3, dude. It means a lot, man. I
It's
really
been awesome
appreciate it.
having you on, dude. I've never seen anybody open a sealed game live before, so I'm kind of nervous and excited at the same
Yep.
time.
So normally what we do is we play a little Duel of Fates,
Oh, nice.
right, from Star Wars, but we're not going to do that cuz this is going to go on YouTube. Now, this is a big one. This is heavy. What to expect out of this is I've had a lot of these come in. There should be a poster, a registration card, a manual, and obviously your card. This is a heavy boy. This should be good to go with the seal. We're going to open it up. I love this game. It's a great game. This is an awesome seal. I don't care. Episode 1 of season 3 with Horse Allen and Moose. I want to open a little bit. So there could be a fruit roll up in there. You're right.
Yeah.
So cheers to you guys. We're going to
Oh,
just open her up. Oh, man, it feels good. Okay. There's no guarantee. You guys have seen me get burned before.
I'm gonna laugh if it has no manual in it.
Right. There's no. I see some store. Right. We got the store. I don't know what store that came from.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
a
know.
couple there. It's heavy. I'm expecting it to have everything. What's it gonna look like? I don't know. Is there a fruit roll up in there? No. I wish there was. But yeah, dude, it's heavy. So cheers to you guys. Usually we get a little dramatic. Oh boy. Oh man. Yeah. She was
Beautiful.
new. There's your poster. There's your Reggie. There's your cart. So we opened up a new. Yeah, that's cool, man.
That's awesome, dude. Thanks for sharing
Very
that with
cool.
us. That's great.
Yeah. It's just kind of what I have to do. And then all your goodies are boom. Your poster and your Reggie's in the back. So she was brand new. Very cool.
So what happens now? Does that game never get touched again after this?
Um I need one for my piece. This was my PC one. So I'm gonna keep it. But you see, right? I can show real quick. I'll be careful with it. You can see, man, when Genesis stuff sits in there, it's not good. I don't recommend doing this to try to get a mint copy. Um I haven't smelled it yet. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been touched. But this is cool, man. And then there's your Reggie. So you can tell even because they put the Reggie on the bottom. It's been sitting there for what? This came out in
What,
'93.
30 years ago? Yeah.
One of my favorite games. If you haven't played Soldiers of Fortune, I highly recommend it. But there you go. There is a brand new. Look at the manual. The manual is pretty dang good. You can even tell. Even the Manny's not perfect, right?
That's
But
crazy
it's
that even like a brand new game doesn't have like a perfect Manny. I mean, look,
correct.
on Genesis games, you don't even see a damn Manny 97% of the time. So
Correct.
that makes me think
And
differently about the ones with a little crease on them and stuff.
I don't think I've ever sold a non CIB Genesis game on this platform. So don't hold me to that. But so
Yeah.
little fun with you guys.
I don't know if I've ever sold one that was CIB. So I mean, you can't find the Mannies either. So it's like once you get them, it's like you got a box and a cart, and that's all you got. So good luck
Right.
finding a manual for them, right? So
Right.
except for Sonic, I mean, you'll see a lot of those. So, but
Sure.
yeah, I'm looking at them now, and it's like, man, there's 30 of them on the shelf. I bet you 26 of them don't have a manual in it. So yeah,
And I say as a hardcore Sega collector, there's nothing worse, and you guys can be nasty and degenerate about it, than opening up a when a streamer opens up a Sega Genesis case, you hear that pop, and you only see the cart and there's no manual. That's a turn off for me.
I'm
So
sure. I'm sure. Well, Moose, thank you so much for joining us, man. Thanks for opening that sealed game. I've literally never seen anyone do that before. I haven't opened any sealed Genesis anything myself, so that's really awesome. Our next episode is going to be on September 12th, 10 p.m. Central Time with Mr. Average Dude. So look forward to seeing all you guys there. Moose, have a great night, dude. We'll
you
talk to you
too.
soon, and
Yep.
we'll hang out here for just a few minutes. Thanks for joining, man.
Yep. Take care, guys. A lot of fun.
See you,
See
dude.
ya. See ya.